What's happening, guys? This is Buzz Nagpal for iGyaan.in, and today we are going to be reviewing the new Micromax A75. Now, what does the A75 stand for? The A75 is an indication of what a company like Micromax is capable of doing. Starting off with their first Android handset, which was the A60, this time last year, it offered something which reminded us of how Chinese manufacturers make Android phones. Today, Micromax has come a long way from that, where it presents us with a device at about 8,900 rupees, which gives us the somewhat latest version of Android. It does come with Android 2.3, and it gives us this brilliant looking device which looks like it costs much more than it actually does. We did take a lot of time with this review, and we did test this device extensively, testing battery life and performance over a period of time. Let's start with the build quality, and we'll talk about the rest of the features as we go along. This device is extremely well built. I won't call it a good comparison if I would compare it to, say, an HTC phone. This phone is exceptionally well built. There is no squeaking or tweaking from the device, no rattling or shaking. So the covers and the plastics are really nicely molded into shape, and they fit on this device perfectly. The buttons are really tactile and nice to press. The power button is at a very convenient location. If you're left-handed or right-handed, it's at a very convenient location. The ports have no issues whatsoever. So overall build quality is pretty nice. The screen does come with somewhat of a screen protector pre-installed, which you can remove and replace with a screen protector. I'm not too sure if they're available in the market right now for this device, but they should be very soon. We'll do a quick rundown of the specs for those who missed the unboxing video. On the front here is the speakerphone, along with a front-facing VGA camera. You also have a 3.75-inch capacitive LCD display, which is a multi-touch display. And you do have 4 touch capacitive buttons at the bottom of the display. Display is a 320 by 480 pixel display, and it's fairly nice to look at. You have a microphone at the bottom right of the screen over here. On the right hand side is the volume rocker. On the top is the 3.5mm headphone jack, along with the tactile power button that we spoke of earlier. On the left is the micro USB charging port. On the back is a 3 megapixel camera, which is a fixed focus camera, which is possibly the only disappointing factor about this device. You have the loudspeaker and LED flash over here, the Micromax logo, and this really nice glossy fingerprint friendly back cover, which looks really nice. One of the main reasons that the device looks really nice. Let's remove the back panel. The back panel starts to get a little difficult to remove over a period of time. You have the battery, which is a 1300 milliampere hour battery. You have the 2 SIM card slots. One is a 3G SIM card slot, the other one a standard 2G SIM card slot, both GSM. You also have micro SD expansion slot, which supports up to 32 gigabyte SD cards or micro SD cards, none of which are included in the package. So let's quickly get into the user interface and see what the operating system looks like. Now, we did face a bunch of issues with the operating system initially, but before I get into the issues, let's talk about the lock screen over here. You get your date and time information along with your network information, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, and battery information on the top right, along with standard Android notifications in the status bar. You of course have this really nice convenient unlock slider, which has been implemented by Micromax. So if you use the center, it goes to home. If you use the left one, it goes directly to the phone, and if you use the right one, it goes directly to messaging, which is very convenient. Now, we've replaced the standard launcher that comes on the A75 with Go Launcher EX. This is a free launcher from the Android marketplace, and it adds a bunch of interesting UI elements, and we like that a lot. So this makes the screen look a bit nicer, and you can see that performance wise gives good performance, and you can also get this pinch to zoom out feature, and with that you can move your screens around and all of that. That's a feature of the Go Launcher, nothing standard with the A75, but the fact that you can install something like that and that it performs that well on this device is pretty interesting, and is what we are demonstrating. Slide down from the top, you will see your notifications. and you have something interesting which is called Toolkits. Now this is possibly the most extensive quick launch in the notification panel that we have seen, especially from a phone of this value. So you get all sorts of quick launch toggles over here: airplane mode, reboot, power off, lock screen, Wi-Fi, data connection, Bluetooth, GPS, user profiles, input methods, auto rotation, auto brightness, and a brightness lever which you can use to customize the brightness of the screen. Now the most interesting aspect about this is that you can bring out this toolkit by simply holding the power button for about 2 seconds, which is a little bit more convenient, we feel, than sliding down the notification panel and then jumping into toolkits. A nice user interface implementation by Micromax, looks extremely nice and makes it really convenient to access the toolkits. So that's pulling out the toolkits using the power button. Apart from that, you get a bunch of nice interesting UI elements that have been added by Micromax. For example, if you jump into the full application tray, you get this really nice user interface where it lets you select all applications, your recent applications, and you can clear the history as well. You can also go into running applications and close all running programs. So an included task manager is what Micromax has given with the A75 Superfone Lite. This performs well and it can shut down all running applications without any problem. So you have an included task manager as well. Going into the all apps folder, you'll see that the icons have been replaced by some really nice looking elements, and you can also obviously replace these icons with icon replacement packs available in the Android marketplace, but the ones given by Micromax are pretty decent as well. Another bunch of UI elements that you'll see is, for example, if you go into the settings panel, you'll again see this tab layout where they've broken down settings panel into different tabs. So for example, you have the communication tab, you have the system tab, you have the application tab, and you have others. They've kept the same user interface elements throughout the phone, and it looks good and performs well. Makes it really convenient. For example, if you go into phone, you get the same user interface with the tab layout. Now this is the phone dialer, very nice looking and large size dialer from the company, and you do get video calls over 3G as well. So if your first SIM card is a 3G SIM card, you can make video calls using the front VGA camera, and that works great, and we tested it out and it works perfectly fine. So this is your answer to a 3G video calling Android smartphone in the price range of about 9,000 rupees. You can of course jump into your call log, you can jump into your contacts and groups from here directly. From the dialer, you can also set up a firewall and create a block list of people who are bothering you, and you can also jump into call settings from here and set a bunch of basic call settings, and of course you can also jump into phone settings and it'll give you a minute reminder, call costs, all those things as well, which is pretty interesting for this device. Talking about messaging, and I'm going to quickly jump into that, you get a standard keyboard from Micromax. So you get the standard Android gingerbread keyboard, which of course you can replace with another keyboard from the Android marketplace. Not a lot of problems. So you get a standard Android keyboard, but you can replace it with Swipe keyboard if you can find a beta that supports this resolution. You can of course install Swipe on this device as well. Jump into the browser and let's turn on Wi-Fi over here, and we're going to jump to iGyaan.in and show you what that looks like once it's connected to Wi-Fi. So there you go, it should open up the website in the mobile mode right now. So we just got up the demo of the Galaxy Note S Pen. You must check that out. As you can see, the screen is really nice, the browser performs well, it's really smooth, no issues with kinetic scrolling. I'm also going to switch to full website, and you'll see that the accelerometer performs great. Switches from portrait to landscape almost instantaneously and back into portrait as well. So no issues with the accelerometer. We are loading the full website right now, and you can see that it loads all sorts of text and content without any issues, and it's still loading the website, so I'm going to let it load. I'm just going to quickly do a pinch and zoom test, and you can see it's fairly smooth for a pinch and zoom test from a device of this value, and you can see that all sorts of content has been loaded up, and the website looks phenomenally nice. No issues with that whatsoever. I'm going to quickly jump into the YouTube application, search for a video of iGyaan. What's happening, guys? Well, Marco from iGyaan.in, and as always, you can expect only exclusive stuff from us today. So as you can see, video streaming, there is no problem. We loaded it in high quality. There's no problem whatsoever. Audio is great and loud, and video quality is absolutely superb, and depending on the quality of video available to you, you'll be able to view it on this device without any problems, without any lags. I'm just going to quickly go into the task manager over here and close all programs because I'm going to be doing a quick benchmark over here, and I'm going to quickly run quadrant benchmark and show you what the scores are like. So we get a score of 770, which is definitely a poor score, but it's above the Nexus One, below the Samsung Galaxy S. The device has a 650 MHz processor and a dedicated GPU of undisclosed value. Earlier we weren't able to download a lot of applications from the Android marketplace, and it stopped running, and so we had to go into settings and go into applications, find the Android marketplace and uninstall the update that was recently installed, and after that we were able to find all sorts of applications from the marketplace. So if you have that issue, go and find your market app in the application management and uninstall the update, so that will allow you to browse through the Android marketplace and find all the apps that are missing. Okay, so we have Nina Mark, so I'm just going to run that so that it gives a demonstration of the GPU. So Nina Mark gives it a score of 22.7 FPS. We're also going to quickly jump into a couple of games over here, and first of all we have Angry Birds for the standard demonstration of how arcade games play on this device. So as you can see, there is some lag even in Angry Birds, and the frame rate is not as smooth as we'd like it to be, but after the game loads up a bit, it does smoothen out, but it's still not up to mark. It's not acceptable with a game like Angry Birds especially. Now we were able to install Real Racing from the Android marketplace. Let's see if we can get this game to run this time. One thing we like to bring to notice is that viewing angles on this display are not so great. From the side you'll see it starts to blacken out and fade away. It's not the best viewing angle on a display. Let's hope this loads up this time. Unfortunately, that game does not play. It loads up to the final point and then it crashes. So that definitely does not work for us. But you get a basic idea of what games look like on this. Even Angry Birds kind of lags. But we're trying to get a fix for games like Real Racing and Raging Thunder that seem to crash on the device. A bunch of applications are pre-installed for your convenience by Micromax. So for example, you have Polaris Office and you have this postcard application that allows you to create quick postcards. You of course have the Savan Music application and the iBebo pack, which includes iBebo Teen Patti, the iBebo browser. You of course get Times of India, a quick news reading application. You have also Wi-Fi peer-to-peer connection. The last thing I'm going to look at is the camera, and I'm going to quickly jump into that. The camera is a decent 3 megapixel camera, and the lack of focus makes it a pretty disappointing camera if you ask us. You do get the standard Android settings over here, nothing special in the camera application, a very standard camera app, the Android camera app, and you can switch from picture to video, and of course you can press this button to switch to the front camera as well. Basic camera application. We'll have a sample video and sample pictures on the iGyaan review page, so stay tuned for that and log on to iGyaan.in for that. So this was the in-depth review of the new Micromax A75 Superfone Lite. So what exactly is this Superfone? We've been able to derive that this is something which is a lot more than the standard Android series. It offers you more customizations, a nice user interface, and overall nice looks in a budget. It also adds the basic thing that made Micromax what it is today, dual SIM capabilities inside a mobile phone. So you do get a dual SIM Android smartphone for 9,000 rupees that runs Android Gingerbread and does a lot of things that other phones in this price bracket cannot do. That being said, the battery life on this device when it comes to talk time is just 3.5 hours, especially if you have both SIM cards in there. So we are kind of disappointed with the talk time. Call quality is absolutely brilliant, so no issues with the call quality, and network performance is strong, so no issues there as well. Wi-Fi seemed a little weak, and we're going to be testing that out a bit more and we'll have an analysis on that soon enough. We're not too sure if this will get the ice cream sandwich update, and there is no word from Micromax, and they're keeping lull about it, especially with their epic failure of the A70 Gingerbread update. For this price bracket, we believe this is one of the best phones you can buy, especially if you're looking for a dual SIM phone and if that solves your purpose. The only downside we believe is the slow processor that does not allow for a lot of applications to load properly. The camera is also pretty disappointing, so don't expect to take a lot of pictures if you're buying this device. Apart from that, this will solve all your purposes of a smartphone. The browser is good, all sorts of Android applications, social messaging, Facebook, Twitter, all those things will work brilliantly. It's not the best performance you'll get from a device, but it's fully functional. Video calls work great on this. Messaging is decent, and you can install a keyboard replacement. So there you go, guys. This was a full review of the Android A75 Superfone from Micromax. For more unboxing videos, reviews, and tutorials, log on to our website, which is iGyaan.in. Do subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/iGyaan, youtube.com/iGyaanTV. If you have any questions or queries, you can log on to our forums. You can also catch us on Facebook, Twitter, and on Google+. The links to those are at the end of this video or in the description below for iGyaan.in. This has been Bharat Nagpal checking out the A75 Superfone Lite. Thank you guys for watching.